All right, everybody, welcome back again to the podcast. We're going to get into the FAQ section with Brock Morgensen about smart asset investing. Sorry, Brock, I'm working on it. I'm just kind of discombobulated. That's all how it works. Okay, so with the FAQ questions, all I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Brock 5 questions. I'm not going to respond. I'm not going to say anything crazy. We're just going to get into it. You might hear a giggle too out of me. It's just how I am. I'm sorry. So first question, Brock. First question is, what advantage and disadvantages are there when working a real estate investing firm?
I would say the advantages to creating a larger organization is you're allowed to go after larger deals. Larger deals lead to generally more returns on the back end and more economies of scale and opportunity to create systems. Disadvantages is you're taking on another level of responsibility by bringing in investors to your deals. Um, it's more risk, right, than just putting up your own money. You're dealing with other people's money, which you might if something goes wrong, you might lose some sleep over and have the thought of you lost someone's money. So that's kind of one of the I would call it disadvantages, is you're taking on that extra level of risk.
Okay, I like it. So next question is, at the moment, what asset class do you think is most lucrative in the real estate space right now?
I would say I'm in between industrial and self storage right now is my favorite asset class. I'd probably go with industrial. That's my where we're spending a lot of time looking for deals right now. I see there definitely is over the past year with e-commerce booming so much. There has been more demand for industrial, and that's good. That's good for as far as filling vacancies. Obviously, it's going to lower the cap rates and make it more expensive, but I think you could still find a lot of good deals in industrial, and there's a lot of opportunities to get lucrative in the leases. And that's kind of where we're spending a lot of our time right now, is looking for industrial deals compared to before we were looking at a lot of apartment complexes. I think you're on mute.
Oh, happens. There, can you hear me now?
There you
Is
go.
that okay?
Yep. Gotcha.
Jesus Christ. All right, so this happens. All right, so I was obviously muted. So the question, Brock, is what asset class are you watching now for the future?
I'll go to the other one and say self storage. We bought a self storage facility recently and didn't really know anything about it, but we came across this amazing deal and we bought it, and it's been going great. But I've learned how cool self storage is, and just how much I'm a huge fan of being able to systemize stuff and outsource tasks and minimize involvement with day to day tasks. And there's a lot of that opportunity in self storage with different softwares you can use, and you can automate stuff with a gate entry system. And self storage, you don't have to deal with tenants cleaning a unit when a tenant moves out and a toilet breaking. It's pretty straightforward. It's just a metal box, and the worst you have to do is go grab a couch out of it when someone leaves it in there. But it's I really like self storage, and that's an asset class we're trying to learn more about and do more of. We're working on some opportunities to kind of double down in that space right now, actually.
All right, I like it. I'm okay. I'm off mute. All right, so next question for you, Brock, is what makes a good real estate investing firm in your opinion?
I would think a company that's going to put their, and this might sound kind of cliche, but a company that's going to put their investors first. Um, that's a huge part of it. Is you're taking on a fiduciary right for this investor's money. So you have to put the investor first. So for me, that's usually how I like to see it. If I'm looking at other firms, is are they putting all the emphasis and all of their duties on making sure the investor gets a good return, making sure they're keeping investors informed, they're not lying about stuff that might have happened in the past? Are they being straightforward and transparent with investors? To me, that's the most important part. All the other stuff will fall in place if you treat investors right, give them a good return. Referrals start coming in, and that's how you grow a business, is putting all the emphasis on that.
I like it. I like it. Last question. What books do you recommend for people to learn more about real estate investing firms?
I think I'm trying to think back to some I've read. So one that is great, especially if people are looking to learn into the whole syndication game, is there's a book called Best Ever Apartment Syndication, I believe it's called, by Joe Fairless. And it's just this big textbook pretty much of what goes into syndicating a deal. It's great. I mean, it lays it out step by step. That's the only book I found really that like really dives into the details. I think a lot of books just like touch the surface, and those are good too to kind of get introduced. But if you're looking to double down and really learn about that, the syndication space, that's a great book to check out.
Doggone, I was muted again. I thought I had it this time. All right, I'm going to play the soundbite nonetheless because I missed out on my soundbite.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Brock answered them immediately. Thank you so much again, Brock, for coming through, man. This has been an excellent interview. I'm really looking forward to putting this episode out. If you have not already checked out the episode, I'm going to put the tag up there on Brock's side somewhere. There's a tagline over there on the YouTubes, and if you're not on the YouTubes, go back a couple episodes and you'll be able to hear it on the podcast. In the meantime, remember, you're better than you were, but not half as good as you're going to be. Thank you again for tuning in, and we are out of here.